Welcome to the next video around how to use SMS. In this video we're going to look at how to enter results for students. There's more than one way to enter results, but in this video we're going to show you how to enter results from the student study plan. So firstly you need to navigate to the student study plan. Now I've already got my study plan populated with my student details, but I'm going to result these two units that are sitting here. Both of them are enrolled and both of them have been participated. As you can see, the dates are in the enrolment activity start date and enrolment activity end date columns. To result this unit, we simply highlight the row by ticking and go across to grade and mark by student. This takes us into the grade and mark by student screen, and you can see that the details have populated at the top of the screen. That is the student ID, the unit code, the version and the correct attempt. We then need to retrieve the screen to populate the grade and mark details section of the screen. In this row we can see the unit code again, the student ID, the attempt, the status, the student's name and the study package title. We have two columns here, and depending which grading scheme you use for the course that you deliver, if you're unsure what grading scheme you use, you do need to check with your education manager. In this case, this is a Cert 4 in Community Services, and we are using a scheme where we can enter a mark that converts to a grade. So in the mark column, we enter the mark that we've given the student for their final assessment. In this case, let's pretend 85%. We then tab on our keyboard. It converts that mark to a grade. In this case, it's a distinction. If you were using a grading scheme in trade areas or Cert 1 to 3, you would generally use competency-based grading, in which case you would simply enter your CM in this column here, the grade column. If you click on the little looking glass, it does bring up all the grades that are available to you. On Staff Point there is a results ready reckoner that you can refer to that tells you what all the results that are available to be used under Federation Training Policy are for. If you use a verification scheme, that is if you work in a trade area where employer verification is required to finalise a result, you may need to tick the little verified box. Again, if you are unsure whether the course you deliver requires employer verification, please check with your education manager. In this case, this is all we need to do. We do then, for all results, need to update the effective date located on the left hand side of the screen. It defaults generally to today's date, but let's pretend we granted this result on the 15th of October. That would be, generally speaking, would be the date that you mark the student's work. This is important because the end date needs to be accurate for government reporting. We then save. You may receive some warnings. In this case, I'm being told that the last result entry cutoff date has passed. That's okay, it's just a warning, but I'm also being told that I have not entered participation. In this case, that's because I cheated for the purposes of the video and manually entered the dates of participation. I didn't actually use the participation screen, but you should, and you should not enter results unless participation has been entered. In this case, I'm going to say OK to these warnings. The screen will save. And if I go back to the study plan and retrieve, you'll see that the result appears in the study plan screen. I'll just do this unit again, just so that you can see what I do. Grade and mark by student, links to other functions, retrieve, enter my mark. In this case, let's pretend We gave John 60%. And tab, it converts that percentage to a grade. In this case, a pass. Let's update that date to, let's say, the 30th of October. Save again. I'm going to receive those warnings again around the last result entry cutoff date and missing participation. But I'm going to say OK to the warnings. Save. Go back to the study plan. Retrieve again. And you'll see the result that I've entered appears in the study plan screen. So again, the study plan is a great way to see where you're at and what you've done. Those 4 units that are now resulted all have a status of passed. Eventually all units will be passed, hopefully passed. It is important that the status is passed, not still enrolled. If you have a result and the status still says enrolled, that's where it might alert you to the fact that your course does have employer verification, and without that verification the unit won't pass in the system. That concludes the video for this section.